Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour. I'm joined as always by my lovely, wonderful, tall co-host, Alexander Volts. Say hello.
Very tall, getting svelte.
What?
Svelte?
What's that mean?
Looks, in shape.
Oh, see, that's how much of an idiot I am. Anyway, this is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. It's a new discography, more or less, per episode. And today we are talking about
The Cocteau Twins.
Cocteau Twins. God damn it, Alex. I know you did that on purpose, you motherfucker. So if you have any suggestions for other artists you want us to talk about, or if you hate us or if you love us, send everything you want to everyalbumever@gmail.com. And be sure to like, subscribe, YouTube, iTunes, or fucking Spotify, or I don't know. Do all the things, like, share. It's all good. If you're watching us, that's pretty much, you know what? If you're watching, more than enough. Don't even care if you tell a friend. We do this because we like it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And yeah.
Anyway.
If you want to tell a friend or an enemy.
That's actually, it's just as relevant to send us to someone you don't like, because we're, anybody who has an opinion other than your own is the enemy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I guess depending on your feelings of the show. Sorry about that.
Oh, Alex is getting a phone call from unknown. Who's that? Who's unknown?
I have no idea. I thought this was on silent mode. Yeah. I guess depending your feelings on the show, your enemy could be our friend.
Yeah. It's fun. It's super fun. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. You can also check out the Spotify playlist on Cocteau Twins that we've curated for everybody. There should be links at everyalbumever.com, as well as in the descriptions of wherever you're listening or watching. And there's also playlists associated with every episode that we've done. So there's tons of music that we think is very cool. You can find all those playlists at everyalbumever.com. Man, Cocteau Twins. I knew nothing going into this other than that people like them. I see them on a lot of lists of influences, and they're probably alty, and that's what I knew going in.
Yeah.
That's it.
My only exposure was the vocalist Elizabeth Fraser on the Massive Attack album.
All right. Yeah.
And then I've always wanted to listen to them. So it's an Alex pick this week. But yeah, very little. Never listened to a full album. Couldn't name any of their songs before this. Just one of those artists where I'm like, I should check them out.
And we did check them out. We checked out everything because this is, every album ever. We usually don't do EPs. You and I both listen to every EP as well.
Yes, I saw that there, because sometimes bands just use EPs as like, here's some singles or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of times.
But I felt like this band used them a little differently.
Yeah, all different songs on the EPs. Yeah, all originals.
So
originals as in not on the albums.
So I was like, for some extra credit, let me check this out. Let me see what's going on between the albums.
This was a very confusing episode for me, but discography for me, because I listened. Okay, I always go in open-minded and excited and very optimistic that I'll find something that I'll love. And then I got to the very last album. I'm like, okay, I don't like this band. And then I realized that that's not fair. And I didn't even decide on a best or worst by the end of the album. So I had to go back. I went back and I was like, wait a minute, I don't hate this at all as much as when I first heard it. And then I listened to another one that I had as like a potential worst. I was like, no, I don't hate this one either. So what? By the end of it, I finally got some thoughts about this band, and I'm not a fan of this band, but I do get them. And I do think they've made some pretty amazing shit, but I don't particularly love. I don't think they're great with albums consistently.
I would disagree.
Oh, it's gonna be an exciting episode.
I would say the way to summarize my experience with listening to this is I was very intrigued until I wasn't.
Okay,
but looking at bands I'm familiar with, that's kind of every band's MO, right? Like no one puts out solid.
Unless you're death. or the Minutemen,
unless you have some early,
or a Tribe Called because they had that one album that we didn't like.
Yeah, unless you have some death that stops you from recording music.
Oh yeah.
Very, very hard to continuously be good for whatever reason, and we'll get into why they stopped being good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. When do you want to? How do you want to lay out but discuss the EPs? When they come out, in between albums, that all in the front, all in the back?
I would say the back end. So we'll do an album, and then like if I have anything to say about the EPs, when we're kind of done, we'll talk about them between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So backstory of the band.
So they were formed 1979.
Oh wait, I should before you go in. Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah. 9 albums total. 9 full-length albums and 6 EPs. We're going to be mostly talking about the albums, of course. First album was released in 1982. The last album was in 1996, and which is also a huge surprise for me because I didn't know anything about this band. I had no idea they started that early.
Mm-hmm.
That's real early.
Yeah, they kind of found fame later on.
Wait, did the first EP come out in 81 or 82?
82.
Okay.
So they dropped the album before.
Okay, just making sure. So
I got all my shit lined up here. So formed 1979 in Grangermouth, Scotland. That sounds like a fake place I made up.
You could have named any place in Scotland and said the same thing.
Yeah. So the main members are Miss Elizabeth Fraser, Simon I'm assuming it's pronounced Raymond.
Raymond. I don't know. There's an E at the end of Raymond. Just imagine the word Raymond, but with an E. Okay.
And Robin Guthrie. And Robin Guthrie and Elizabeth Fraser are dating, and they get married. And so the entire group or span of the band, they are
married.
Not married,
together.
But together.
So that for a split second, I was like, wait a minute, but they're twins. That's disgusting. No, I'm an idiot. Sorry. But so that's how they started. And you want to just jump into it?
Yeah. And obviously, I guess I'll just drop some of their influences. Birthday Party, Siouxsie and the Banshees, Sex Pistols, and Kate Bush. So.
All artists I love a lot more than this band. All of them.
Damn it, Mike.
All right. Let's start it up.
September 1982. This is Garlands.
It's a quick question.
Yes.
That drum machine. I've heard it before. We've all heard it before. Which one is that?
I think it's an 808.
Okay. Yeah. It's a very, very iconic sound.
Yeah. 808 is probably the most. And I believe Guthrie did the majority of all the drum programming throughout the band's career.
Okay.
I was not ready for a goth rock album.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't surprised because I didn't know what I was getting into. But I was like, oh, this is like The Cure-ish. Not The Cure exactly, but The Cure-esque. It's goth. It's gothy.
Yeah.
It's gothy with a drum machine. Very. Well, we're talking over it, so.
Let it breathe.
Let it breathe. Let her vocals come in at least. Quite an intro.
These are great bass lines. I don't know if I wrote the bass player's name.
This is all intro. I forgot how long this intro is. I just want to hear her voice. There it is. God, those little flourishes are fucking great. Okay. Looks like Will Heggie played bass on this.
He's in here.
Oh, let's talk about it. Go on.
This album and the next 2 EPs.
Okay.
Before he makes his exit.
This is this is my personal favorite.
I also put it as personal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a first, not a first, but it's a interesting. That doesn't happen that often. when first listening to this, I thought these are all good songs. I like all the gothy shit they're doing. Her voice is fucking phenomenal. I love her goddamn voice so much. And I thought, okay, this is a good album. It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was very upset because this is the only dark goth album they have.
Yes.
The only fucking one.
And I was taken aback. For some reason, I thought they were a band like Portishead or maybe because of her association with Massive Attack. I thought that. So I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And then, man, all the bass lines are solid. Pretty like standard 80s goth rock thing. And that's A-okay with me.
The bass lines, I didn't think they were that strong, but they were complemented nicely with the really, I felt like this was kind of like proto shoegaze because the guitar has a really, I don't want to say squeaky, but high pitch, reverby, like throughout the whole album, it does stuff like that.
I do think they did help like invent shoegaze a little bit.
Sure does sound like it. The thing about this album that made me really enjoy it by far is her. I'll keep wanting to say Hurley's because Elizabeth Hurley, because I'm a dirty man who has Elizabeth Hurley on his mind. Fraser, her vocals are so fucking like I have timestamps of moments where like, fuck, that's so cool. And it's not, you can't, normal people can't do stuff like that. It's very difficult.
That's funny you noticed it on this album because it took a few albums for me to notice how crazy her vocals are. It took
me 3 listens of this album in a row for me to kind of was like, because it on first listen, and if you're just kind of hearing clips, she sounds like a regular ass female vocalist from this era. Whereas, a lot of Exene fucking is using the band, that kind of, but man, underneath all that gloss and that reverb, man, she did some crazy shit. Like,
it's so funny. She didn't even want to be like a singer or anything. 'Cause like, for how crazy she is, you'd think she has like some sort of like training or
really, no training.
No.
This bitch. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? She's one of the best fucking vocalists I've heard in a long time. Oh my God. How could she not have training?
I've seen her live and she's still got it and it's still beautiful and
unbelievable voice. And later on, she goes fucking crazy with like operatic kind of shit. So that's mind blowing. I am floored by this woman. Put on 45 seconds of, what is it? But I'm Not. She does this.
That's one of my favorite songs off this.
It's like she's like yodeling almost. Right at the end.
Yeah.
I love that. I can't do it, but it's like a yodel. It's unorthodox. It's simple, not in how easy it is to do, but it's simple as in like you just throw a little, not horse. I keep forgetting my verbiage.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the technical.
I know. It's like you hear it a lot in like Hank Williams, or it's like a purposeful yodel.
Twang.
Well, the twang, it's literally just like a part of a yodel where your voice, you switch to your false register real quickly. I'm like blanking on what it's actually called, but also we heard it a little bit in the opening track, but also a minute and 1 second of, can't even read my writing. Wax and Wane.
A minute?
Yeah, exactly. The end of each phrase.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah. It's fucking crazy sounding. I love that so much. Little embellishments like that. Those are so interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real interesting that you caught it on the first album because it took me a few to realize what was going on. I feel like it's so bass driven that Blind Deaf Dumb really stood out to me in terms of like the guitar and everything.
Oh wait, which one's that? I hope it's the one I'm thinking of.
I guess I'll throw on a little bit.
A little bit of that one right there. Change. But the bass lines do change.
Yeah, it's great. Like I feel like I'll probably sound like a broken record and say wall of noise or wall of sound, and they use it
It's not
very well, I think.
hard to follow on this album because while the guitar is that spacey and airy and has all this high end, there's like no synths on here or anything like that. There's nothing. It's just the guitar bass drum machine in the voice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all very easy to follow. Every song is good. I think it's the most consistent album they've ever released. I think there's even the albums that were more of them, more of like what the band is.
Mm-hmm.
There was at least one on every one. I was like, ugh.
Really?
This one, not so much. I really like this one. Yeah, really like this album.
Well, I guess moving on, because we got 2 EPs to talk about.
Okay.
In October, they released the Lullabies. And if you're interested, and by you, I mean the viewers, interested in the EPs, the best way to consume them would be Lullabies to Violin, volumes 1 and 2. And that's all their EPs on 2 disc for your consumption. I feel like it's kind of their EPs in general kind of feel like extensions of whatever album.
Yeah, exactly. The Lullabies sounds just like the first album, or sounds just like Garlands.
Yeah,
and each one that it was closest to, it had, and I didn't feel them to be that essential at all.
No, it's not. For me, I found like maybe like a song here and there that I thought was good. Like It's All a Lark.
Yeah.
Or is that what it's called?
I don't recall.
It's all but Arc Lark.
Yeah, already.
Yeah, that's a great song. And then April 1983, Peppermint Pig, which I felt like had some more focus on the drums, but yeah, this kind of continuation. So
if you enjoy this band, they're obviously worth checking out. But they're not like fan makers. None of these EPs.
No, it's this like if you liked Garlands the way we did, then definitely check out these EPs.
So we're on to 1983, Head Over Heels. Sounds like a lot of delay and reverb.
It's so
it's ridiculous amounts of delay.
It's so crazy the songs I like and the songs I find out are like fan favorites.
I still don't know. I mean, I kind of have an idea later on, but for this one, no, I don't know.
Yeah, like I'll wait till this song finishes. But I feel like immediately you know it's different from the previous album and the EPs. Like it's just got a different vibe already.
Those are some synths right there. This is lovely.
Getting a little stronger in those vocals, a little more confident,
a little clearer.
Gonna end up listening.
It's a good song. Let's talk.
So yeah, like I guess people really like Sugar Hiccup. I did not.
Oh, interesting. Really, that's a fan favorite.
That's a fan favorite.
Okay,
not that I thought it was bad, but like it didn't stand out to me initially.
Dude, first listen to this album, it was my worst. I was like, oh,
really?
Well, this is. I fucking hate this, and I was really bothered that her vocals were so drowned out in reverb, and that the drums were so heavy on the reverb. It just felt very sloppily, a very sloppy use of reverb on the entire album. And then I noted Sugar Hiccup as I hated it. But then I finished the discography. I went back and I was like, and on my notes, it says, holy shit, is it so much better than like this stuff? I really appreciated that song all of a sudden. And then there's even other songs like, what song is that? I can't even read my fucking right. Glass Candle Grenade or Glass Candle Grenades. I didn't like it at first. I thought it was ugly and annoying. Second listen, I was like, no, this is good. I like this.
Yeah.
I was so confused with myself. Like, what the fuck do I even like?
I mean, I didn't do like you did and like went back. I just kind of listened to them in order.
Mhm.
I did the 2 times like back to back. There is stuff also. This is as a duo of Guthrie and Fraser. The bass player is gone, so it's just the 2 of them. The following song after the opener, 510 50 fold, like there's a sax on there, and I'm not really a fan of saxes, but
especially in the 80s.
But
I like that. I like that song as well as the opening track, which was it When Mama Was Moth? Yeah, that which we were just listening to. Very good. But yeah, 510 50 fold is very good too.
The Tinderbox, there's like some added percussion that's just not like standard drum machine sound stuff that's real interesting, or I think so. And then like Multifold is like this weird, almost has like a Twin Peaks vibe to it. It's like swing goth rock in a way. It's an interesting song. But yeah, definitely like stretching their creative muscles and growing on this album, I feel like.
Yeah, it's more interesting than the first one. I just didn't enjoy it as much. Didn't feel it as hooky. Well, none of it was as hooky. It's like produced like it's darker, but the songs aren't darker, which was interesting to me. Like it's produced like to the fucking nth degree, all the shoegazy spaciness, all mood, but it was like Sugar Hiccup is a fucking pop song.
Yeah.
Like there was none of that on the first album.
No, nothing remotely poppy on the first album.
They're getting there here.
But yeah, I don't know, something about it, because I listened to it the same day I listened to Garlands, and I don't know, there was something about this album that was so different from the second one that I was just like, oh shit, I want to see where this band is going. Like I want to see how they follow each album up.
Right. I thought I was going to feel that way going in, and I did not. I swear to God, dude, when I first heard this one, I thought, boy, do I hope it gets better from here on out. I was upset, like, oh boy. I don't know where my headspace was at, that I hated it so much the first couple times I listened to it, and then I went back and thought it was pretty good. But I think, honestly, it might be like by the end of it, I kind of figured out what I should be listening for and not listening to what I want to be listening for.
Yes.
Like,
that's a great way to...
Yeah, they're going to play the songs that they're fucking good at writing. I'm going to stop hoping for more of the first album, or stop hoping for more of this, because that's just not what's going to happen. So I guess I can go back and appreciate what they are good at.
Yeah, you're going to have a bad time otherwise.
Yeah. So let's move on.
So again, we got 2 EPs. Okay. The first one, whatever. It is what it is. April 1984, the Spangle Maker is when they bring in Raymond, the multi-instrumentalist guy. And I think Pearly Dewdrops and Pepper Tree are real good. All right,
fair enough. All right.
So that's what I got to say about those 2 EPs.
All right.
And then so we're in November 1984. This is Treasure.
Here's some acoustic guitars, Alex. Very, very pretty. Full on new wave. Not really.
No, it's a weird album in the like the best way, I think.
It's super interesting because right here, it's like it's obviously not goth like the first album, but it still kind of feels that way with the bells in the background and stuff.
I think she's just like got a gothy voice.
She certainly does, and she's got a ghost voice.
Yeah,
she's got the voice of a ghost.
It's so Scottish too.
Oh, really? I never thought about that. That's interesting.
I mean, that's kind of like when you think of like Scottish ballads. It's kind of like what she's doing, right?
Maybe. I mean, I only think of goddamn Scarborough Fair. Fucking don't want to do that. Okay, let's talk about it.
So, best album.
Best album. Okay.
We're going to have a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, okay, so this was my best after I listened to it like fucking 5 times, and I listened to another one as many times and I listened to the first one. Because I don't think this is a perfect album at all.
I think it's damn near perfect.
You're out of your fucking mind. Yeah, we agree that it's the best, but hey, we're not agreeing on how it's the best, okay? Because this wasn't it was not an easy one for me. Because when I first listened to it, my first ignorant walkthrough of all the albums, at the end of it, I wrote down the words, okay album. Swear to God. And then they didn't get better.
Yeah.
So I went back, and don't get me wrong, this album has some of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Beatrix is maybe one of my favorite songs of all time.
It's a crazy song that sounds like it could be on the Castlevania soundtrack.
Okay, so I don't know who's picking the last song for this. Probably you, because you seem to like the band more than I do.
I think we should this rock, paper, scissors.
Right now?
At the end.
Oh, at the end?
At the end.
Because I want to hear Beatrix. I think
I'm fine with that. We unanimously decided.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's such an incredible song. It's super operatic. It has vocal overdubs all over the place. It's fucking melancholic. Or melancholy. I don't even know what the right adjective form of that word is because I'm stupid. It's so interesting, and it feels old. It feels like it was written centuries ago. It obviously wasn't.
Yes,
because we're alive.
What?
But and it's obviously modernized. It's not like an actual Baroque sounding song. It just feels dark and creepy and not quite sad.
I think when you're in Europe and you got like those castles and you got
it's a castle song. It's a fucking castle song.
Yeah, you got like a lot of history in Europe, so I could see how songs like this would happen.
Yeah. Amelia, another one where that has to be a fan favorite, right? Is that a fan favorite?
Is it? I don't know.
Because that song,
I don't know if it is actually.
That vocal line is haunting. It's so good. Put on a little bit of Amelia. My God. It's wonderful.
Like this album, well, it's loading. This album just threw me for such a loop.
Fuck, dude. That's so good.
Dude.
Right here. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can listen to this for hours, dude.
It wasn't until this album that I noticed her vocals are crazy. Like usually I'm not like paying attention to the vocals like too much. I'm like, let me say this. I'm not like in awe usually. Usually it's like Bjork and Mike Patton.
Yeah. I mean, two of the fucking greatest.
And then another one of Mike's favorite, occasionally Cedric of the Morris Volta. But no, Patton and Bjork, we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Those were like my big two vocalists. And now Elizabeth Fraser is one for sure.
Fuck yes, dude. Like, there's anything I took from this band, it's how creative she is and how it's creepy to me. Like her voice creeps me out and I love it.
Also, she's like you and she doesn't care about lyrics. And a lot of this is just
nonsense.
Yeah, it's just noises. Yeah. That's why some of the song titles
are crazy.
Yeah, because she's just making words and there's like lots of disputes about what her lyrics are and aren't. So.
What is her thoughts on the matter? Fucking who cares?
Well, yeah, she keeps some of them guarded. So later on, I think in Garlands she was saying real words. But in this album, this full on.
Yeah, I was wondering like what she's saying.
She's just doing whatever she feels.
Whatever sounds happen.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a real word. So
that's actually interesting because for those who sing, you know that depending on which range you're singing at or which register and stuff, you got to twist words to fit certain vowel sounds. So like
she said, fuck that. I'm just
going to make the vowel sounds. Fuck the words.
Yeah.
Like if you, let's say for example, Chris Cornell, who was one of the greats. If you take like I don't know, something from I don't know, a famous song, Outshined or something. You take like the high parts where he's screaming, and you take the way he's pronouncing the words and you sing them lower, you'll sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because the way you're pronouncing them has to be changed based on how you're, just in terms of resonances and stuff. So I like that she's just cutting that part out entirely. Fuck it. Fuck the words entirely.
Yeah.
To make the sounds, make the noise.
Obviously very liberating for her and a smart choice. You want to know something crazy about this?
What's it? So
I guess I'll do the thing that'll piss you off the most. Of course, Robert Smith listened to this on his wedding day.
Did he?
Of course he did. Of course he fucking did. Make me bad.
You gotta explain that to listeners.
So if you've never checked out, because I'm continuing the trend of talking about Korn on every episode. If you've never checked out Korn Unplugged, some genius thought it would be a good idea to have Korn do Unplugged, and they do a version of Make Me Bad with the Cure's In Between Days, and they bring
it's like
in
a mishmash of it.
And yeah, they bring in Robert Smith, and it's not like musically, it's pretty good musically, but Robert Smith and Jonathan Davis are just such two guys who should not be on a song together, and it's the funniest shit ever.
That now I again. Make me bad.
He sounds so sad and miserable. I guess that's what he's done for. Okay. So then the other crazy shit is Raymond felt the album was rushed and unfinished, and Guthrie thought it was an abortion.
Oh, really?
Like, they had no idea what they had recorded. They just kind of felt that they were rushed into putting this out, and they didn't even realize what they had. So that's crazy.
That is crazy. You know what? That reminds me, similarly to the punk band Rudimentary Peni. Have you heard them before?
No, I have not.
They're very, very spastic punk band, very interesting. And they have this album called Cacophony, which is a concept album based on Lovecraft stories. And it's an incredible album. It's fucking bananas.
I'm gonna listen to that.
It's so weird and crazy, and it's silly, and it's absolutely unlike any other punk album, and it's basically unanimously regarded as the best, by far, and one of the best punk albums ever. The bass player, he not only does he regret it, he hates that it exists.
Holy shit!
Every album after that, he just distanced himself from that sound. He changed everything to make them sound shittier and generic and fucking worthless. And every other member of the band, the singer and the drummer, that was obviously the best. It was the best album. It was the best creatively. So I don't understand.
I think they came around and they realized the genius, but at first they were just no, this is not.
It fascinates me though, with the what the actual creator thinks about this shit. If you're not even no matter how good a thing is, if you're not proud of it, what is it?
I could see when you're too close to it, because we've done episodes where I'm that's not going to be fun to listen to. And then I've listened to it. I'm that was cool. Fucking great. Yeah. Cool. So I could see how that happens when you're so close.
Dude, that happens to me in a really negative way. Kind of conversely with performing, I'll write a song that I'll feel is I love this. This is one of the best things I've written. And I'll perform it. I was that didn't work at all. Nothing about that worked at all. It's just not work in a live setting. So there's clearly some disconnect with creating something and being close to it. It's very fascinating to me.
Before we move on here, so I was talking about how she sounds like the band is very Scottish to me. I'm going to play some Fesfur.
Oh, it's the track 4?
Yes.
That's Persephone. Named after one of the Greek goddesses, I believe.
Yes. Earlier in Garlands, she was singing about Egyptian gods and goddesses. So I'm going to play some of this because to me, it's very Scottish. And
that's such a drum machine.
It's very industrial. Yeah. It's very industrial.
It almost sounds like Big Black's drum machine. The way it's produced. Sounds like it's going to go into some kind of soul funk. That's funk, but a soul song.
It's kind of similar to Multifoiled.
Oh, it's so cool.
But it's changed. Start to, what are we, over 40 seconds.
Yeah.
It's changed so much.
Oh, love that.
Ah,
beautiful.
Elizabeth. will you marry me?
Elizabeth, will you marry me? Oh, God damn it, I love her fucking voice.
Damn, that album.
Dude, that fucking yodel thing, it's so goddamn cool. I fucking adore that so much.
That album's a life ruiner.
And here's so I'm still gushing a little bit because it's still a fucking great album, but
We could probably just talk about this album.
but I didn't love all of it, and there was a lot of like what ultimately made me decide this was the best was just because I don't like a song does not mean it's a good song.
Mhm.
So I really felt that on a lot of songs, but the one that sticks out the clearest to me is Pandora for Cindy.
Mhm.
It just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like it, but I know it's a good song. It's a good fucking song. It is objectively a good song. I just don't like it. But because it's a good song, I'm not gonna say, all right, well, this is not a good album now just because I don't like it when I can actually appreciate it.
Sure.
It's a very stepping out of yourself kind of thing for me.
I was like so floored by it. I was like, I want to give it best, but if you go into Apple Music, you see the stupid essential albums.
Yeah. Oh, the bullshit. It's always wrong. Oh, it's not always wrong, but it's often wrong.
Yeah, or it's a weird thing, but I saw something else was on there and I'm like, I don't want to blow my load too early, but I think it's going to take it, and it fucking did. So good.
So that's both of our best. You should definitely check this out. If like, man, just vocally alone.
Yes.
God damn, man. It's
yes.
so
If
good.
you're a fan of this crazy vocals, please listen to this. So they released an EP in March of 85. And I think there's some good songs on there. Couscous.
Where am I? Look at Quiquos.
Quiquos. I don't know. That song's good. Check that song out. And then Rocco is it's a real Rococo. This band was like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Alex. I'm gonna fuck you up. It's a real rocking song that doesn't really fit them, but it's real fun. And then in November of 85, they put out 2 EPs like back to back. And it was supposed to be to like test out the new studio they were in. And they were just like, that sounds really good. It's not like what we envisioned for the album. Because technically it's an album's worth with Tiny Dynamite and Echoes in a Shallow Bay. Technically, if you put the two together, it's an album, but it's not like what they envisioned.
Right.
So
are we on to 86?
Yes.
This is Victorialand.
So nice and pleasant compared to the other stuff we've been listening to.
I feel like I need dream catchers and wind chimes hanging above me.
I have a dream catcher over.
How many has it caught so far?
Just I don't know if it's working. I don't know if it's working. I don't like the dreams I've been having for a while.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm sorry.
They're weird dreams, man. They're weird.
Don't smoke weed then.
Oh, no.
Wait. Smoking weed makes you forget your dreams more. Because you dream every night regardless.
I feel like as I'm getting older, like weed's not having a good effect on me like how it used to.
I stopped smoking weed about 10 years ago. Yeah, like I started getting real fucking not cool with it. Yeah.
Fucking funny thing to talk about.
I know. I mean, nothing's happening with the music so far. It's just this ambient stuff. How long is the song?
It's about 6 minutes.
Whew. And it's called Lazy Calm.
It's aptly perfect title for.
However, I do got to say this is probably a good representation of the album.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Although it works better for me than the next album without talking about the next album.
All right, let's talk then, because that thing is going to take about 6 hours to actually start up. I this was the second album I gave worst album to before eventually changing my mind. I hated this album so much. I don't anymore. I don't hate it anymore.
Okay, I'm glad you saw the light.
Yeah. Drums are gone. Almost
pretty much
like 98% the drums are gone. There's like some percussive elements in a couple songs.
Yeah, because they never had a drummer.
Right. But they just decided to not use the drum machine.
Although I think Guthrie is real smart the way he programs and makes beats. To me, he's a beat maker. If I think he could have, in an alternate universe, been a hip hop producer. So,
interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Back to the album.
It's all mood, ambience, and eeriness for the most part. It's all like, especially Fraser's vocals, like everything is floaty. Like her voice on here to me is like another synth. There's like synths all over the place. There's no bass lines. There's no like concrete. It's just all floaty, spacey, airy, pretty, and nothing to grab onto for me. It's
so weird because it's inspired by the Antarctica. And I'm so used to associating that with like brutalness, Cthulhu, metal things.
Right.
I'm like, this is not like what I associate.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's all pretty.
Yeah, it's real pretty. Hopefully I'm gonna play Feet Like Fins. Hopefully this doesn't have a blown out intro. If it does, I'm just gonna fast forward. I really like the guitar and some of the percussion on here. This is also another album you could listen to on your wedding day.
It's way more appropriate, I feel.
Yeah. But if you wear makeup and put your hair like that,
don't tease your hair on your wedding day, dude. Or, I mean, you know what? Who am I to judge? You know, this is working out for him. Although I don't know how happy Robert Smith is, to be completely fair.
Man.
He just seems unhappy.
All right, I might fast forward it a little bit just to get into the meat and potatoes. I fast forward it, the same thing still happening.
And you see why I hated it the first time I heard it? There we go.
This is the part where I was like, yeah.
Those fucking little congos.
Yep.
That's pretty.
And then, I don't know. Because Raymond plays guitar sometimes, so I don't know who's playing guitar on each track. But, It's, and then, of course, I like a song called Little Spacey.
I like that one too. So when I went back to this, of course, like I said, and I enjoyed it a lot more. I started writing down. I was like, "Holy shit, that song's pretty!" Like "How to Bring a Blush to the Snow." I think it's How to Bring a Blush to the Snow. Like that one a lot throughout the dark months of April and May. Real good. And of course, Little Spacey's on there as well. Those are all good songs.
This
is a good album. It is not for me. It is definitely not my kind of album, but I still appreciate it. I do not hate it. It is not my worst.
I will say that I was like, even though I was this like floored with Treasure, part of me was a little disappointed that this wasn't like Treasure, but then also like that the band doesn't care. They're gonna keep moving forward, like keep up. Like
I always appreciate do what you want to do. Don't, because the second you start writing for someone else, there's it's not, I don't want to say the word real, but man, it's like, why are you doing it then? If it's not making you happy, why are you doing this thing? I think that in all walks of life though. I think that with everything.
I agree. And like having like followed the Volta from like beginning to end, that's when I learned fans are garbage and artists like do what you want.
Do what you want all the time.
Cause like, man, like the people wanting to hear Deloused, like that never stopped. And it'd be like, dude, we're like 13 years out from that album.
Yeah.
Like it's great. No one's debating that. But like, if you want to hear that, stay home.
Dude, man, I got this comment on a video I posted of me playing this little thing that I wrote, this guitar riff, and it really pissed me off. And it was a nice comment, but the sentiment behind it bothered me. It was this crazy woman. She was fucking
I was going to say, was it me saying this isn't the Cocteau Twins?
Cocteau Twins, Alex.
Cockatoos.
Son of a bitch. It was a script that I wrote, and it's part of a song that I really liked that I wrote. And it's a long song, and it has all these peaks and valleys kind of shit, and it's really hard to play. And it's a solo guitar because I don't have a band. And I wrote in the caption, like I performed it live twice, and it didn't really work out. Like it didn't work the way I wanted. It didn't sound the way I wanted to. I just need a rhythm section behind it. Like I need something to remind the listener that there's a beat, because it's just too many things happening. So I mentioned that, and this woman, bless her heart, she meant well. She was like, "It works if you love it. All right, you got to do what you go and get it. You do what you got." Like, no, you fucking idiot. Truth is truth. All right, if it doesn't sound right, and I wrote it, and I feel like no, this doesn't sound right, then it doesn't sound right. It doesn't mean I need someone to encourage me to keep playing a thing that doesn't sound good. Like criticism is important. Like it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like you got to do what sounds right to you.
I will say, going back to bands just doing whatever they want, it's a reason I love the Melvins so much, because if I go to a Melvin show and they play nothing but new stuff, I'm happy. Yeah. If they play nothing but old stuff, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like they can literally do what they want. And I think,
on that same train, first and last time I saw Swans, fucking
they're kind of
like, I don't know, 2013. It was when The Seer came out. So it was a great time to see them. I think it was at this show. Maybe it was at whatever. Point is, this is a thing that Michael Gira said on stage. He was in between songs, and if you know Swans, they play what just came out, and that's it, because their songs are 8 hours long each. And one guy in the crowd yelled out like a request, yelled out a song, and Gira responds with, "Well, if it's so fucking good, you play it." I thought, God damn, that's the best response you could possibly have. God bless you. Yeah. God bless that guy,
man. Okay, real quick. I went to go watch Ohm, and this asshole yelled out, "Play Dope Smoker" from Sleep, the previous band.
Yeah.
And someone actually went, "Well, they're not going to play that." Like, no shit, they're not going to play. Yeah. Like, man, fucking people are... Bands are garbage. That's all we're getting at.
It's funny because that Swan story, it's been so long that I don't remember if that happened to me or happened to someone else. I hate that, because now I feel like an asshole, because if it didn't happen to me, then I just stole someone's story. But anyway, let's move on.
Anyways, so we got another EP that was put out in September 86. So if you're keeping track, we're going to do 3 albums in 86 with Victorialand, Love's Easy Tears. Love's Easy Tears is a little bit like the older stuff. So I would say like that's worth a listen. And then, we're in November 1986. This is an album they did with Harold Budd called The Moon and the Melodies.
So this is it's not under the name Cocteau Twins, right? It's just credited to their actual names, each of them. I believe.
Well, if you look it up on like...
No, I know, but like when it was released, this is technically not exactly a Cocteau Twins album, even though it is.
Damn, it's weird. The last album worked for me, but man, sometimes this shit. This song is good.
Old. This is all right.
Yeah,
it sounds very samey though.
Any song with Elizabeth Fraser on this album is good. Take Me Away.
It's like her voice. I've been trying to figure out this entire episode how to really describe it. I mean, you can hear it, but like how it resonates in my head is like a fantasy voice. Like you would hear it in. Like, not a Lord of the Rings, but like...
You know what's funny?
Kinda.
She recorded songs for the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
Come on!
So, someone else thought the same thing.
Dude, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. She's a great voice. Listen to that.
Man.
Fuck, man. Okay, all right.
It's hard to turn that down.
It is.
But yeah, it's the stuff in between where she's not singing that just...
Yeah, absolutely.
I almost fell asleep every time.
You're damn right. That's why it's the worst album. Yeah.
Where's
fucking up?
Holy shit.
And this, okay, so it's the worst, and it's I wanted to pick multiple worst. I swear to dude, I wanted to pick multiple worst.
Almost
This, and the only thing keeping me in my head from giving it worst was the fact that it's not exactly a Cocteau Twins album because it's not released under the name Cocteau Twins. But it fucking is. It's in their discography and it's the worst. Dude, there are four actual songs. And then in between are these insanely long bullshit ambient do nothing for 8-minute songs.
Minimalism, yeah.
Boring bullshit. Dude, it's infuriating. I got all worked up. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to fall asleep. I didn't get angry, but yeah, I can see where Mike's coming from. And yeah, this was not a high point. And I was this like, man, I don't feel like this is kind of when I was like, man, I loved like the previous albums, that journey.
Yeah.
Journey we went on. What happened? What happened to you guys?
Took a detour
that I did not care for.
It's to double down as if I needed to do that. The thing I actually really enjoyed in this album is the final minute of the final track. That's how, and it's real good, but it's the final minute of the final track of an entire album that I did not like. Even the actual songs, I felt like they were just weaker than anything on the albums before it. They're compared to the ambient bullshit in between, they're great.
Yeah.
But compared to their actual good songs, not great for me. I had nothing about this album that made me want to go back to it. Like
I said, I would just go back to the tracks with like if I was adding it to my library, just the ones where she's singing, and then
even then I'm out on board.
The rest.
Yeah. This is not a great. So I don't know what else I could possibly say. I'm just gonna be shitting all over it.
Yeah. If you ain't got nothing nice to say,
then start a podcast.
I was gonna say the same fucking thing.
Sorry.
Surprisingly, no EPs released, and they took a full like 2 years to put this out. This is 1980 Blue Bell.
1988.
88. My bad. Yeah. I'm all
hot and bothered by this wonderful
hot and bothered, tongue tied. So 1988 Blue Bell Knoll.
Whoa. Hold on. Whoa. What's going on here?
And then at first you're like, oh, am I getting Treasure Part 2?
That's what I thought.
No, you are.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Yes. Their vocals are still interesting.
Yeah, I was very.
Those harmonies are really nice.
I was very underwhelmed by this, and I thought I was being too harsh on it.
Right.
It's better than the Moon and the Melodies.
Yep.
But to me, I think they just work so well in the dark, and this is still kind of light and breezy. It kind of just feels like Disc 2 to Victorialand.
I think it's much worse than that. Yeah, I really didn't like this. This is the album where I had to write down, I don't think I like this band.
Yeah.
Because it's new wavy, generic, boring, prettiness with no substance. I felt like it was just more of the same shit, but just not interesting. Like I could predict every chord change, and I'm just bored.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Why is that?
Guthrie has a real bad coke problem.
Oh, does he now?
While they're recording this, I'm like, oh, that all makes sense.
That's no good.
And yeah, I don't know if they didn't tour for this album because of his coke problem, or if they are not fans of it. But either way, they didn't even like tour for.
Really?
Ironically, this is the first album where they got major US distribution too. So
that is seems very silly decision to not tour.
Yes. Or Yeah, or not like, I guess it was the 80s, you know, you're not going to have an intervention. But yeah, so that kind of explains why the album was a miss.
It for the most part, it sounds like background music in an 80s movie. I still think Fraser's doing some awesome things as she usually does, but at this point in my time with the band, the honeymoon period with the vocals is over. Like, I need more than just you sounding cool. Like, I need good songs at this point, and this album fucking really let me down.
Yeah. So we were both underwhelmed.
Yeah.
By Bluebell Knoll, and having a bad coke habit will fucking do that.
Dude, don't fucking do coke, man. Don't do it. Not that I know anything. I do know things about coke. I have a lot of experience. I've had a wild life, dude. Dude, honestly, y'all don't know, but I've had a wild fucking life. Let's move on, huh?
All right, yeah, this bringing up bad feelings, and then they've like taken a break with the EPs. So now we'll go forward another 2 years to 1990. This is Heaven or Las Vegas.
Where's this? Sgt. Pepper's?
Yes, this is goth rock Sgt. Pepper's. So this is like considered their best.
Oh, is it now?
It is.
Is it now? I had a feeling. Sure sounds new wavy from here.
It is new wavy.
It is all new wave. That's pretty, but I feel like I've heard it before. Not even this song, just many things like it.
I feel like the next song is more bonkers though.
I don't remember the next song. All right, let's talk. All right. So that's fine. I guess. Hey, guess what I feel about this album?
You don't like it?
I don't care for it.
I like.
You really?
I think this is what should have happened after Victorialand.
I mean, I don't disagree. I think it's significantly better than the one before it, Bluebell Knoll. But at the end of it, I felt, is that okay? It's okay.
I think so. What happened here is there's a lot of shit going on with the band. Raymond's father passed away. Fraser is pregnant, of course, with Guthrie's child. And his coke problem is still out of control.
Ooh.
And then so too, Raymond, to cope with his father passing away, this kind of threw himself in the studio to stay busy. And so this is kind of like his album because Guthrie is checked out. And the way they record music is they record the music and then they bring in Fraser afterwards. So it's this Raymond pretty much in the studio,
right?
Taking control and shaping it. Like I said, that song, it's weird that it's called Cherry Colored Funk because the next song is way more funky and so weird. I don't think she's saying actual words, but they're like Indian inspired and it's funky and it's such a weird song. So I'm going to play some of Pitch the Baby.
Oh, ready.
Also, she says real words on this album.
Ooh, wow, that's wild.
What she credited to as the birth of her child. She felt like she had clarity.
Interesting. Still sounds like gibberish.
So weird.
I wish they weren't so fucking buried. They're really buried.
The vocals?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guitar is.
It's overbearing, yeah.
All right. Yeah, so not necessarily that song, but she said after she gave birth, she felt like she had like clarity and felt inspired to write real words.
You do, man.
And also, it's
words are hard if you don't have anything behind it.
It's real sweet. They put the album out on her child, her and Guthrie's child, Lucy Bell. So they put she gave birth during recording, and they put the album out on her very first birthday.
Oh,
so that's super sweet.
That's very sweet. I wish I liked the album more. Man, they just feel so bland. Oh, and then obviously not all of them. Like, what is it? What is it? 50-50 Clown? Is that what it's called? Believe
something like that.
Because I can't read writing. I should just bring my laptop closer. I don't know why I haven't done this sooner.
Yeah, 50-50 Clown.
Yeah, that's cool. Also, I Wear Your Ring. I like that one a lot. Like the whole, like the last handful of songs are actually pretty good. Like this isn't a bad album at all.
Yeah, like Fro Foxes and Midsummer Fires. That was Raymond wrote that the day after his father died. So that's right. That's like for his dad in a way.
Yeah, been there. Not with the dad dying, but definitely writing a thing during a death. Overall, though, as a whole, I do feel like this is great for people. Like this is what I feel most people think of when they think of 80s music. They think of something that sounds like that.
I think it's weirder. I don't know why they blew up and why this is considered.
I don't feel I don't feel like it's weird, but I can see why it fit the time. It fits what people like generally about this entire genre.
I just, to me, it makes more sense evolutionary, like where they were going. It makes sense, and all things considered, it's just fucking, it's crazy to me that they cranked it out. And then you got songs like Wolf and the Breast. Like it's so sweet, it's so nice.
Well, wait, sweet how?
Like the way it sounds.
We don't know about that.
Yeah,
so fresh my memory. See, this is immediately boring to me.
Really?
Yeah, immediately bored by this. It's nice, but I've heard this before. I've definitely heard things like this. And even she's not doing anything that interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I get it. No, I get it. Just because, like, again, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't understand why people do enjoy stuff like this. Like, if you love 80s music at all, you're going to like this album, I feel like.
Yeah. Not, despite what people say, not as impressive as Treasure.
Not even close. Not even fucking, not even a little bit close.
I get it. Like, if at the time, if you had never heard of the band and then this came out, like, seemingly out of nowhere, like, I still think it's real weird and strange at times. But, yeah. And then I just appreciate the gusto to push through all the crazy shit that was going on.
That's usually the best time to push through stuff, is when something's really, really rough. So I do commend them for that. Any EPs? No. Okay.
They went on a drought of EPs. So we'll go on to 1993. 4 Calendar Cafe. This is a cool opening track, I think.
Yeah. It feels like so much 80s acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had it for a while, but this...
It's really at the forefront of this album.
Yeah. Is that still Drum Machine?
I don't know, because these
sound better.
Yeah, these later albums sound like real drums.
Okay, that's a short clip, but also not too misleading for the rest of the album. Least favorite, for sure.
It's okay.
I didn't like this.
This is definitely one because Heaven or Las Vegas kind of bought me back in, but then this bought me immediately back
out.
Yeah,
I really hate this album. Like, I really fucking hate this album. And so I was fighting with myself over which is the worst, this one or fucking Moon. What the hell is it called? Moon of the Melodies.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I decided that one was the worst one because I don't think anyone would really enjoy that because of how much boring ambience there is.
Mm-hmm.
This one rubs me the wrong way, and from beginning to fucking end.
Wow.
I hate every song pretty much. It's so boring. It's so generic. It's all been done a gajillion fucking times. It's all the genre of 80s new wave shit. There's nothing interesting about it to me. Nothing redeemable. I hate this album.
It's not their brightest moment, but considering what we're coming up on, I think it's listenable.
I felt like it was like music to me. It affected me the same as music.
Thief and Wandering Around Lost. That felt a little more in line.
Go ahead and put that baby on.
With their older stuff.
I'm so bored by this. I hate this. Anyone can write this. Anyone can write this.
All right.
Yeah.
Not bringing Mike around on that song.
No.
But yeah. I mean, they should have broken up.
Yep.
All things.
What was happening?
Just the coke habit.
He's still at the coke.
And
he's still at it.
I think he may have gone to rehab, but it's ruined the relationship between him and Elizabeth.
That's sad.
I think they're like on the verge of divorce
at this point.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're long divorced, but by now,
or on the verge.
Now,
by now they are. They were actually supposed to get back together in 2006 for Coachella, and then I think she called it off like a month before the show.
Wow.
She's like, I can't bear the thought of sharing the stage with that dude.
Oh my God. It's gotten that bad.
Yeah, I mean, even like 10 years after they broke up, she's like,
that's sad, dude. That's fucking so sad, but people suck, dude. People are awful. Hey, everyone should be alone forever.
I mean, it sounds like he was in the wrong, and I totally respect her for feeling that way.
Anytime you're on it, you got a bad coke habit, you're definitely in the wrong. You're definitely in the wrong. I don't care. Man, who's more justified than coke addicts, though? Who feels more justified? Like, honestly.
But yeah, I think, damn, who was it that I think they would have got paid like $2.5 million each for that show.
God. Each.
Yeah. So
hold on, I need a second. Hold on.
A month away from the show. I mean,
oh my God.
Imagine hating. Like, obviously, she's probably smart with her money and lives comfortably. But
oh my God, it's
someone who lives paycheck to paycheck.
Oh my God,
I can't imagine. Okay. My worst enemy for 2.5 million. I'll suck it up for one show.
I'm gonna fucking throw something right now. That's okay. So we're all poor, dude. Fuck. Okay. I respect her decision because
I respect the shit out of it.
Never ever fucking work with someone you don't want to work with.
Yep.
Ever. I stand by that 1000%. It makes me. The reason I'm so angry is that she can say no to that much money, having just released these albums, which I don't think are that great. Fuck, dude. So many of these albums, I'm like, dude, that's not that great. Fucking come on.
Man.
But good on her.
I did get to see her with Massive Attack, which was way better.
I bet.
One night,
I can only imagine.
Fell in love with her.
Yeah. Goddamn.
All right.
I don't like this. Whatever. We all know how I feel. Let's move on.
So
good Lord.
Somehow they managed to put out 3 EPs, none of which I fucking cared for.
Really?
Yeah. Snow, Fine Lights, and Otherness. So we'll just jump
straight ahead to the last album. We're at the end of our journey. For the love of God, good Lord.
1996. And also a lot of these songs, or a few of these songs ended up being on Milk and Kisses.
Same drums, which may or may not be real. This sounds super 90s. Your face is saying 1,000 words.
I mean, obviously by process of elimination.
I wonder what you're gonna feel about this one.
But I'll wait till the music's done.
Okay, dude. She sounds super foreign.
At first I was like, this isn't so bad. And then each song I just fucking...
Okay, let's
So this is my worst album.
and here's where we're gonna fight. I like this album.
Whoa.
Oh, I liked it a lot. This was
What
almost
the
my
fuck?
best. This was
What
almost
the
my best.
fuck?
Yeah.
No way. This, to me, is by far the most boring. Like,
I don't know. I do not understand that. Okay.
lackluster fucking... Oh, man. I only liked like 2 songs, and one is for a ridiculous reason.
Explain what is it and what's the reason?
Okay, so I'll just play a little bit of Ups, and then I will explain why I think it's funny or worth listening to. I'll just fast forward it.
Okay.
Bear with me.
Okay. All right. Note. Like that.
Fucking. Yep.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's why.
Because she rolled her tongue? Okay. Let me explain to you why you're wrong, Alex.
Because she went Cardi B before
Okay.
Cardi B.
That is pretty rad.
Yeah.
Okay. So during my first run, I listened to 2 albums. Oh no, I mean, listen to each album 2 times. I did it one by one chronologically. I got to this album and I already liked it.
What the fuck?
I got to this song. I was like, "Oh, hold on." One of my first line of notes. The first line of my notes.
What were they?
It was. I'm reading it right here. Don't get your hopes up, Mike.
Yeah.
That's how.
That's good advice.
When I first heard I was like, I think I like this. Don't get your hopes up. It's gonna let you down. And then each song, not each song. This is not a perfect album. There's a lot of songs in here I don't like. But what is this? Where is that called? Half Gifts. You gonna deny me some half gifts? Put on that motherfucker.
I don't have it in my notes, so it can't be that good. Half Gifts, track 4.
These chord changes made me so happy. It's fucking gorgeous.
The only other song I liked was Seekers Who Are Lovers because the vocals were so good.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. These chord changes.
Is this carnival music, Mike?
Shh. It's fucking heart-wrenching.
You, Werner Herzog?
You're just, and it goes back to minor right here. It's fucking gorgeous how it switches moods like that. Really interesting, smart chord changes, and that caught me off guard like a motherfucker. I haven't heard an interesting chord change in this band in like 4 fucking albums.
Yeah.
And what is this song called? How do you pronounce this motherfucker? Rilke and Hart, whatever the fuck. Fucking gorgeous as well. Absolutely love that.
It's not Ups.
God.
I don't fucking care for this song.
Oh, but it gets better. It gets so good. Motherfucker.
I'll just go a few minutes in.
Yeah. Give it to me.
Like 2 minutes.
Right here. Those harmonies are fucking really nice. They're really smart too. Interesting harmonies that aren't obvious.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too close to it. Like,
Maybe.
listen to too much.
You did comment on Seekers Who Are Lovers.
Yes.
Dude, the vocals,
Great vocals. We can agree on that.
amazing. They're like operatic. They sound like they'd be in a Morricone soundtrack.
Yes.
They sound exactly like that. They're fucking gorgeous.
Oh, man. That's the one thing.
Super. Oh,
One thing we can agree.
so beautiful. And you know what? Speaking of angelic fucking vocals, what is it? Eperdu? Eperdu, E-P-E-R-U.
I see it.
Yep.
Track 8.
So angelic. Vocals are so fucking angelic. More so than I feel like it's been in a while. She's been singing kind of normal for the past few albums.
This really felt like the thrill was gone and they were going through the motions on this.
I disagree entirely. It seems this whole album feels really heartbreaking to me.
I think because it's maybe you got that because it's like the end. Like they knew they were done.
But I've heard a lot of shitty last albums, man. And I didn't like this band. On the an album before this, maybe 2 albums before this, I wrote, I hate this band on my notes. I did not like them. And then I got to this, like, oh, this is pretty. This is very interesting to me. I like this. I don't want to start talking like Jeff Goldblum, but
yeah. I think initially you're just like being too hard on them because, like I said, how many bands like really like have a full blown every album is interesting?
Not a lot. We just did Death, and then
I think
that's a great. I mean, we keep going back to that because it's our one example. But
I think the bulk of their career though is fucking impressive.
Impressive, sure. Enjoyable for me, no. For the most part.
You're crazy. And you're crazy.
I went back and I can definitely appreciate it. I do not hate it the way I did the first time. But and I don't hate this band. I don't feel compelled to listen to anything other than a lot of Treasure, and even though Garlands is my favorite, it's more of my favorite as a whole, more so than I don't love any individual track, like the way Treasure has tracks that are fucking amazing. And this one, I feel the songs that I named, those ones stand out to me. That I would go back to those songs. Those move me.
Yeah, I think Garlands, Head Over Heels, Treasure, Victorialand, and Heaven or Las Vegas, all solid, worthy of being in my collection if I ever get money to buy albums again.
Fair enough. I'm lukewarm on this band. I was disappointed by them. Like, very much so. I definitely appreciate them, and I see why people do love them based on the shit that blew me away. Because this band had moments where I was blown away.
Some bands don't even have one.
I know that. I've become accustomed to a certain standard of living, Alex. I expect more from my albums. No, I said it a million times. I'll say it a million times more. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good. And I do feel that strongly about Treasure and some of the albums in that entire area. But I do like this one. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, you know what? I will concede 1 point, and it's the reason why I couldn't give this best, even though I did want to. It's because every song feels the same, tempo wise, beat wise.
That's what did it.
It's really monotonous when you listen to it, not paying attention to the actual songwriting. That's what I liked about it, was the songwriting. They feel the same though. They all feel the same.
Even like listening to this album, before reading about all the issues, like I felt like the thrill was gone. Like there was no passion left, even without knowing all the shit that was going on.
Probably. It's not a very energetic album. No. They're not a very energetic band, but they've had more moments where they were more so than this one. I still think it's worthy of your time. I still think it's very, very pretty.
Only listen to the last track, Seekers Who Are Lovers.
No, there's a lot of good ones in the beginning. God damn it, Alex. You're discrediting this album.
That's what the playlist is for.
It is. There's going to be more songs from this one than you would like, Alex.
I'm going to delete them when he's not looking because it's in my account. I'll put some other ones on.
So that's your worst, you fucking monster. But all right. We're at the end. We did it. Oh my God. This was we took a long time for this one. We put it off a few days. I listened to these a lot. It felt really long to me. I mean, I guess maybe because the EPs were involved too. That's essentially almost doubling how many things we had to listen to.
I did one of those things where I started off strong and then I fell in the middle. I fell out and then
came back, took it home.
Yes.
Hated the last album.
Also, we we were supposed to record. I was ready that day, but we're like, there's a free Bones UK show.
UK.
We're doing that instead of podcasting.
And it was worth it.
Totally worth it.
It was worth it. That Bones UK was one of my picks for best albums of 2019. It was an acoustic set at Amoeba Records, and it was lovely. And they were very friendly, and they were very talented. And I'm in love with one or both of them. Probably.
Who knows?
Who even knows? So to recap, my personal favorite, Garlands, 1982. Best album, 1984, Treasure. Worst album, objectively, The Moon and the Melodies, 1986. And least favorite, For Calendar Cafe, 1993. Alex.
And I thought we were going to have a Tribe Called Quest.
I thought so too. We were close.
You know what? For a little bit, we did because I did have Moon as worst.
Oh, okay. It was very close. Very close.
But this edged it out.
You just chose the better album as the worst instead. All right, sure.
Yeah. So personal favorite, Garlands. Best, Treasure. Anyone who says Heaven or Las Vegas is fucking as high. As Guthrie is. Hopefully he's clean now.
Yeah.
But and then worst. Don't even. Not even a debate. Milk and Kisses.
You're just lying now. There's definitely a debate. There was
debate.
So much debate. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. If you have any feedback or if you want to send us an artist suggestion for us to talk about, argue about, disagree about, all that, send everything you want to everyalbumever@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend or not, whatever. Thank you anyway.
Instagram plugs.
You can find me at Pope Jesse Ventura and Alex
at Mother Puncture.
And while I'm at it, I might as well plug my music bullshit. I am at Pander Monkey for all my music stuff. There's some music stuff on my personal Instagram, but Pander Monkey is all music 100%. And once again, playlist, Spotify playlist on Cocteau Twins will be at everyalbumever.com, as well as the descriptions of wherever you're listening or watching. And of course, all the other episodes have playlists as well. Okay. You picking the... Oh, we
agreed.
We agreed. I'm excited for this.
The first time, no one really picks it. We disagreed somehow.
So, thank you for listening. This is Beatrix from Treasure. See ya.